What's up, everybody? My name is Lauren. I work for BluChip. I'm joined here today by our newest BluChip athlete, Miss Ellie White. Hello, Ellie.
Hello.
Um, Ellie is a North Carolina native. She graduated from Loyola University Maryland in May of 2023. She was a communication major with specializations in journalism, and then she was a member of the Loyola Women's Club lacrosse team. They won two national championships during her time there at the Division II club level. Ellie is now a graduate student at Meredith College, working to pursue her career in communications and further her degree within digital media. And she is a member of the lacrosse team there, which is NCAA Division III. So, I guess to start with, what was it like applying to colleges? Like, how did you end up at Loyola? And was lacrosse like a big consideration?
I'm one of nine, and so my parents kind of put it in my head that I had to find a way to pay for college
Right.
because it was kind of hard to do that for eight other
Yeah.
kids. And so just like all my other siblings, they did ROTC, and so they were luckily able to get an ROTC scholarship through the Army, and so I was able to follow that path and do ROTC. And one of the hardest things that I had to decide was whether or not I did want to play in college and whether or not I wanted to commit that much time to a sport while I was also doing ROTC. I chose to go to Loyola. And one of the great things about Loyola, which was actually a big reason for me to go there, was that they had a really strong club team. And so I thought that that was a good middle ground between playing at a collegiate level but then also still having that competitive aspect when it came to playing.
Could you share maybe some of your experiences like going to nationals? What does that look like at the club level?
Oh yeah, so I thought it was great.
Yeah.
You sort of get that idea like, wow, this is what it would have been like if like I was on a collegiate team that made it to the NCAAs, like maybe like a little taster of it, just a little bit, just with the marketing and the fact that they like
Yeah.
videotape games, they're on live broadcast, you can watch them televised. They had the Instagrams going with the scores and the updates and everything. It was
Yeah.
pretty neat.
So then you graduate from Loyola, and then like where do you go from there? How do you end up at Meredith?
So, mine was a not a very traditional way of doing it. I decided to go get a job, do a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I worked with a small photography videography company
Mhm.
outside of Baltimore. And I was sort of like the studio manager. So I was juggling maybe 3 or 4 roles at a time just because it was a small company. But it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. It was great. And after about a year, I ended up having to go to more army training, which took about like 4 or 5 months of my life. And I act like it's not a burden at all. I was really happy to go, but it was put a
A lot.
damper on the job. And so after my army training, I came back to North Carolina and I decided to stay in the Raleigh area with my family. And that's when I decided to go to Meredith and play lacrosse. I don't know if it was a quarter life crisis or just the urge because I felt like maybe I didn't do enough in college because I felt like COVID kind of took away 2 years. But I felt like I was playing catch up and I was sort of sitting at my 9 to 5 and I was like, I love this and this is great. But and everything that I see is amazing and I know I should love it more than what I do now. And so because of that, I was like, I think I need to do something else. I think I need to go play lacrosse. And so I just started researching like D3 schools. Meredith, at that point it just worked out because Meredith is in Raleigh and that's where my family was at. It was cheaper. It made more sense just with the cost of living.
Right.
And yeah, I reached out to the coach once I had gotten in and I told her I was like, hey, like I'm considering going here. I played lacrosse. I played at Club Loyola in Maryland. Would you be willing to like hear me out for a chance to maybe play on the team or whatever? And so that's sort of how it started. I'm a lieutenant in the Army, so I'm a reserve officer.
Sorry.
And I basically drill 1 week in a month roughly. And
Okay.
so I my service is I Saturday, Sunday is like I usually go for one weekend and I'll do something for the Army basically in layman's terms. But that was one of my biggest concerns for playing and going to school and stuff was I didn't know what was going to happen because we had games on weekends. My coach has been amazing when it comes to
You're
that.
coming in as like 23 years old, and then everybody else who's kind of new on the team is 18. How was it like to come into that culture on that team and, kind of bond and make friends with people on the team.
Yeah. So actually going in, I had the the blunt reality that I was playing with people the same age as my little brother he's doing his first year of college right now. And
Yeah.
so it's just mind blowing. Like I've learned to embrace the not necessarily the weirdness, but sort of like the uniqueness of my situation. Like, yeah, I'm a lot older than you guys. I've kind of like I went into the workforce for like a year and like I graduated. Like I kind of did all of this already. Like, I'm not necessarily wise, but like I'm a little bit like I've seen a little bit more than you guys have, and so I've sort of like embraced that. They're 18 and I'm 24, so, which is late too. And so they're like, "Who's this girl that's coming in from the army? She's coming from training from Georgia," and like I'm coming from signal training. Like I learned how to like operate radios.
Yeah.
Like I was like doing the tech side, so I'm total like a nerd basically in the army.
No, but I feel like you bring like a different perspective that, they don't have. And I feel like that is good for like a team culture.
It is, and I'm actually close with a couple of the freshmen, and they get so worked up with stuff. And
Yeah.
it's not their fault. And like I was probably so worked up with stuff too as a freshman. I understand their stresses, but at the same time, I'm sort of like, hey guys, like it's never that deep. Like I know you think it's a big deal
Yeah.
right now, but I promise, like you're gonna grow so much in a year. Just like what you're bummed out about right now, like just wait, like it'll get better,
I
okay?
also feel like it's honestly a hack to do it in grad school because I came in, I got all the perks, like the merch first, I got my own seat on the bus, like meals first, and like I had to do none of the work that the freshmen had to do. So,
I do. I feel so bad. No, some of them, my first month there, they'd be like, freshmen, go move the goals. Like, and like,
yeah,
it's not bad. Like, hey, you got to work your way up on the team.
yeah,
Like, come on, like, you're the young one. Like, this is how it works. And
yeah.
like, I would go. I would move the goals with them, and they'd be like, Ellie, you can stay. You're good. And I'm like, no, like, guys, like, I just got here too, and like, if anything, like, I haven't touched a field in like a year, so like, I should go move these goals.
Kind of a closing question for you is like, what advice would you give to someone who's kind of wrestling with, where should I go to school? Should I like play a sport? Like, what should I be like prioritizing in my school search?
Um, I would say one of the things is sticking to what you value and also like what you want. You don't need to know what you want to major in. And like I mean it's definitely good to have a general idea of what you like and what you care about. And then if you're not really sure, like go to a school that you know that has the opportunities to be able to hop on different majors, if that makes sense. Like I wouldn't say it's a good idea to go to a university that has like a select few majors. You know what I mean? And if you don't really
Yeah,
know what you want to do.
right.
Then also it's just like location and then whether or not you want to be in your home, whether or not you can handle being away from home. And then like simple stuff like did they have a football team? Like, do you care about watching football? Like, do you like going to bars? Like, let's be real here. Like, you're gonna have a social life and you're gonna have nightlife. Like, do you care about that? Like,
Yeah,
um, even like the gender ratio, like when it comes to student to male, like there's a lot of schools that have like they're like 70% female and then they're 30% male. Like that matters. So, or like being an all girls school versus like being a co-ed school. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, these are like pretty basic things, but I think a lot of kids don't really consider some of those little things and don't realize how much they affect their day-to-day, like college life.
Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me.